This is the first episode of Grix Gets Grounded. Note, I am still doing the Troublemaker Gets Grounded, but Grix is a new troublemaker I created. So after it blacked out and it wiped out. So anyways, today's episode is Grix grounds Liam and get Liam orange and gets grounded. So enjoy the show.
Yeah, and I think when the president first started raising that idea, most people didn't necessarily associate Russia with
Liam Orange. How dare you be friends with Javane Blue? That is it. You are grounded for life. Go to your room. Go to your room now.
And Russia that the president is now confronting, and this visit to Poland has really allowed him to see at much closer range the issues that he's been talking about in Washington that he discussed in Brussels. He was able to see much closer up when he's visiting this country. And you saw that yesterday when he visited a town in southeastern Poland, about 60 miles from the border with Ukraine. It was really evident the American commitment to the region, to the security of this area. This Air Force One was taxiing down the runway. They could see Patriot batteries, the missile batteries outside the windows. There were armored trucks, all provided by the United States, to help bolster the security in this area, and then also
yes, I grown Liam Orange.
As he looks to the rest of Europe and decides maybe what he wants to do next. And when the president was visiting with the 82nd Airborne, of course, those troops were deployed to this region as part of an increase in the troop posture here. The effects of this war will also be evident today when the president visits with refugees here in Warsaw. Poland has accommodated millions of people fleeing the violence in Ukraine. It's something that the president, Andrzej Duda, who the president will meet today, he made clear yesterday that Poland was welcoming of these Ukrainians. He said that they were their guests, but the Polish government is very concerned about strains on public resources. Yesterday, Samantha Power, who is the American administrator of USAID, said that in the coming month that the number of refugees fleeing Ukraine will actually exceed the number of refugees who fled Syria over the entirety of that war there. So really the scale of the issue on display. Now, when the president meets with Andrzej Duda today, it will really underscore how much Poland has come back into the good graces of Washington as this war has proceeded. And remember, President Biden actually lumped Poland in with Hungary and Belarus when he was describing a rise of totalitarian regimes when he was in Canada. Now, Poland is proving very essential in the United States' strategy in this war, and that will be really on full display when he meets with government officials later today.
Yeah, we'll be following that. Kevin Woodcock, thanks very much. The mayor of Warsaw is pleading for help after his city welcomed 300,000 Ukrainian refugees since the war began.
There he is, Javane Blue. That fruity kid grounded me.
Struggling to cope. The head of the
This is the worst war in Europe since the Second World War. It is not for the neighbors to respond to this, it's for the continent to respond to this.
Jan Eglin there. Now, as you can see from this map, most of the refugees from Ukraine have gone to Poland. Ukraine's other neighbors have welcomed less than 1 million people each. Poland is helping more than 2 million. Arguably, Poland is a bigger country with a larger population, and some of the Ukrainians who go through Poland travel on to third countries. Germany, meanwhile, has taken 130 Ukrainians who were in Moldova. Germany officials call call it the start of an air bridge that will take some 14,000 refugees across Europe. Now, the great majority of those fleeing the fighting are women and children. Men, obviously, as many of you know, have been conscripted, so families have been broken up. Our Melissa Bell brings us some of their stories from a Polish border crossing. For a month now, they've arrived day and night at Medica Crossing. Mothers and their children carrying little, burdened only by the images of what they fled.
Where is this, Chernihiv? It's
Tatiana spent more than 2 weeks getting to Medica with her niece, nephew and daughter, traveling by day and sheltering in basements at night, in fear of the sound of constant shelling. But she says worst of all, the sound of planes at night dropping bombs. They drop them on the hospitals where the sick are, she says, on the bakeries where they make bread, so we don't have anything to eat, on the water facilities, so we don't have anything to drink.
the most scared was when the plane.
For Daria as well, it was the sound of the planes at night that scared her the most on her 3-day journey from Kharkiv.
Ну, страшно. Когда так слышишь,
It was that sound, she says, that forced her and her son from their first underground shelter. As a mom, she says, I was scared. My son.
Whoa, whoa.
And for
Grix the fruity boy. How dare you ground my friend Liam. You know that he is good. That is it. You're grounded.
So they targeted it.
You're grounded.
That was when the family decided to flee, heading from Irpin through other occupied towns like Hostomel and Pusha.
Go to your room now.
It's too dangerous. Because even if a woman walks out with a white flag and a child, they don't look. They just shoot, kill, they spare no. Anyway, they can't go home now, she says, because there is no hope. So, like millions of others, they headed to Europe after crossing the border they never wanted to cross. Melissa Bell, CNN, Medica, Poland.
War.
More than 500,000 have fled there so far. Now officials are preparing for another wave to come in. Miguel Marquez has the details.
There's two things happening with refugees in Romania right now. One, the number of Ukrainian refugees coming over the border is starting to tick up ever so slightly. It's been on the decrease for the last 2 weeks, and now it's starting to increase again. It's not clear if this is the beginning of another big wave of refugees coming across the border here. The other thing is that it is settling into many people we speak to that this is not going to be weeks or months. This is going to be months and years. So they are looking at other options to move on from Romania, essentially, applying for visas in other places. Many we speak to would love to go to the U.S., but right now they're saying that when they inquire, it's just not possible to apply for a visa in the U.S. So it's welcome news that the president has announced that these 100,000 visa applications will be made available to Ukrainian refugees, but it's not entirely clear when they can start applying. The days ahead that should become more clear to them. But we spoke to one woman who was from Kharkiv. This is a very sensitive soul. She was an artist, 61 years old, sort of been chased out of Crimea in 2014 by the Russian invasion there. She still doesn't understand what this war is about.
I don't understand why Kharkiv, which is Russian, must be destroyed. We are Ukraine. Kharkiv is Ukraine. Russians but Ukraine. How can you be an older brother for 70 years and not be your own? I don't understand.
Don't you worry, Liam Orange. That green Benton ripoff is in his room and he will never hurt you again.
She's not entirely sure she will go back there, but she believes that she will eventually, and that Ukraine will remain Ukraine, and that it will rebuild and get beyond this. On the number,
You are ungrounded.
there is a very big number of refugees that are internally displaced in Ukraine, and that is the concern now. And what we're preparing for
Thanks.
places like Bucharest, where they have tons of availability in makeshift refugee centers right now.
Thanks for watching. I will see you at the next video.